really honest with you. This episode was originally going to be reviewed this year, but apparently I scrapped it. But then, after watching this episode, I was honestly amazed. For me personally, regular show just impressed me, even though I'm not a fan of it, and regardless if it does have some problems, this episode alone nearly almost made me regret onto not reviewing it in favor of another Christmas episode from this show. But then I just remembered that this episode is officially 10 years old, and realizing it right now really makes sense to review this special right now instead of next year. Otherwise, it will be a lazy 11th anniversary. This special opens up with Santa and Quilligan, who is the antagonist of this special, over a wed Christmas present, and the reason why is because Quilligan created the present himself. Believe me when I say this, we all know that Santa and his workshop is mostly a thing in Christmas fiction, right? And for me personally, the fact that one of the characters, Quilligan, is one of Santa's helpers and he was responsible into making this Christmas gift really goes to show that he just made a gift filled with greed. And the only way to stop this madness is to have the Christmas gift be destroyed. Like, literally, because greed can instantly turn people into sanity in a moment's notice when they see what's inside that red Christmas gift. This really goes to show that the characters who are adults are taking Christmas seriously, since that their Christmas tradition is the same as others, but considering that they're mostly responsible to save Christmas, while Quilligan is doing everything in his power just to destroy Christmas, geez. It's almost like that this show had original writing when it comes to holiday material, which made me regret into not doing those Halloween reviews involving regular show. But let me tell you, I was extremely burned out, and it didn't really help that Discovery is just making these terrible decisions. Getting back on track, the flashback involving Quilligan and Santa, well, Quilligan made the Christmas gift and it just caused so much havoc that it resolved Santa to put the Christmas gift inside of a vault, which shows that he was against greed. Like, this episode's lesson, mainly about not being greed, really goes to show that Santa was concerned the safety of the families in the world of this show, mainly regular show, and the fact that we had this version of Santa being a lot more serious and a lot more confident compared to the other Santas in other cartoons goes to show that they just made an edgy Santa in a really good way. If you ask me, it's honestly a shame that in the other Christmas episodes, it doesn't center around a sequel after the events of this. I mean, granted, you can make the argument that Quilligan is dead because he was being melted in lava or being burned to death in lava or magma, but I honestly felt like that if we had this Santa again, it would probably make regular show a lot more unique when it comes to Christmas specials. And knowing full well that there are 6 Halloween episodes, I'm not making this up, since that the characters are telling stories, I think that I need to rethink on if I'm going to review all those episodes in one video or split them up, but at the same time, I really don't know, because I don't want to put so much pressure on a show that I barely watch. But getting back on topic, the second half of this episode really is the highlight of this episode, since that there are 3 trials that the characters need to go through, and since that they're not rushed, and this is part of a 22-minute episode, the pacing is just done right. And I never thought I would ever see the day that trials involving Christmas is honestly amazing. Mainly one of the characters doing stunts, and the other characters proceed, and when it leads to the final obstacle, that is where things get a lot more chaotic, because the climax can really make a Christmas special unique when it centers around regular show. If you ask me, I do not have a favorite trial in the second half of this episode. I like all of them, even the paintball sequence. Whenever the episode just throws these types of ideas in involving Christmas, goes to show that they're taking it a lot more seriously, since that this could be the end of Christmas. And Krogan is doing whatever it takes to get his gift that he created for the sake of destroying Christmas. Really goes to show that he's the type of villain that can destroy Christmas for the reasons that aren't right for anyone, but only for him. Believe me when I say this. It really shows that when he created the gift, he was just trying to do something good, but at the same time, the gift that he made involved dark magic. And it's not really a good thing. Well, dark magic is the total opposite of magic itself, or light magic, whatever you prefer. The stakes in this episode is really high, to the point that first time watching this, I'm honestly amazed. It's really impressive to think that these characters are willing to save Christmas, and yet at the same time, it requires booby traps, trials, not to mention the huge climax in order to save Christmas for everybody. And since that this is the only wish that Krogan ever wanted from the creation that started this whole mess, it's gonna be really difficult to believe that he had this mastermind of a wish all along, due to him clashing with Santa Claus. I guess it really goes to show that clashing is becoming a thing with these episodes the more I watch them. The climax of this special is honestly amazing. Like, the animation is really good, and the fact that Mordecai and Rigby are completely using their minds in order to use the magic gift to their advantage against Krogan while falling down a pit is honestly amazing. Like, seriously. I understand that other Christmas films may have this formula done a lot more better when it comes to seriousness, but when it comes to cartoon episodes, regular show is definitely on top of the category of saving Christmas. And every time I think about this show being catered to teens more than kids, it really makes me to believe that Discovery are really missing a lot when it comes to creativity in animation. Trust me when I say this, the fact that regular show is one of the cartoons that stayed on HBO Max really says something that this was ahead of its time. Let me tell you, this is one of the reasons onto why I enjoy Christmas, because there are so many surprises out of the blue, and with this being one of them, especially from a show that I'm not a huge fan of, it's really saying something that anything can happen in holidays like this. Seriously, I highly recommend watching this even if you're not a fan of regular show. Regardless if you're not into the themes that this show does compared to other cartoons, it's what makes it different and unique. And besides, the fact that this is officially 10 years old, it just gave me a good impression that I made the right choice to review this instead of doing it next year. I'm giving this episode an 8.25 out of 10.